Welcome back. In this session we are going to discuss about channel management, multi-channel retailing and omni-channel retailing. Now in one of the earlier sessions I had mentioned that a channel is a set of interdependent organizations that are involved in the process of making a product or service available for the use or consumption of end customers. Now remember we had discussed about this framework wherein we spoke about how the manufacturer is making products and services or manufacturing products and services which now have to be taken to a retailer where the customer can come and purchase these products and services. Now in order to have these products available at the retailer, there are going to be a set of other interdependent intermediary organizations which are now going to be called as the marketing channel. Now this is where we will discuss and devote some time to understand what a marketing channel is, what are the different channels that exist and why there is going to be a reason for having multi-channel coordination and multi-channel integration. We will also discuss about some conflicts that arise and different types of distribution mechanisms. But prior to getting into all of that, we have to discuss about what is the importance of marketing channels and what is that retailing provides in the entire marketing channel. Right. So the retailer is basically the gatekeeper between the manufacturer and the consumer, and in fact the channel itself becomes the entire becomes the intermediary between the manufacturer and the consumer. So everything that is manufactured at the manufacturer's end that has to be consumed by the customer, end customer, has to go through the channel and then arrive at the customer's consumption scenario. Say for example we are taking the example of soaps and shampoos. It is manufactured in a central facility somewhere, it has to be transported, it has to be warehoused, it had to be inventoried, it has to be now distributed and then taken to a retailer, and thereby the consumer can come and purchase it. So I have been emphasizing this point time and again that retailers act as the gatekeeper between manufacturer and the consumer. So that is one of the important elements of why retailing is an important element of the marketing channel. The next one is that retailing is often a very important asset when it comes to the manufacturer. Oftentimes retailing is a set of activities that add value to the products and services in such a way that they can be now differentiated from competitors. Now consider that you have a retailer who is involved in retailing operations for the products that you are offering. Say for example we are talking about an automotive manufacturer, and your retailer or the automotive or the person who is taking care of the dealership for your automotives is the one who is providing exceptionally great service and exceptionally great experiences to customers. Now in that marketplace you might be able to differentiate yourself from all the other retailers or all the other competitors that you have. So it becomes a very important asset when it comes to creating differentiation in the marketplace. Many times the channel in itself becomes exceptionally important to create differentiation. Say for example there is this whole concept of fast fashion, including companies like Zara who try to pioneer such fast fashion. Now one of the important elements of having fast fashion is that you should have the capability of ensuring that whatever is the latest trend is available in the store without wasting too much time in designing, thinking and manufacturing and logistics of all of these apparel. So in order to have such kinds of swift and fast and efficient supply chain, you need to have channel partners who are good at what they claim to do. So oftentimes it is also something that brings in a lot of experience and expertise, because of which differentiation can be brought in. Channel experience, again like I said, in many categories of products the experience you have from the channel is the only experience that you have apart from the consumption experience. So apart from actual consumption of the product or service, everything else related to the product or service is at the retail store. Say for example if you are consuming soaps or shampoos or biscuits etc., everything that you can experience from the soap is in the soap itself or what you happen to see in the retail space. There is no other experience that you can get from such an consumption scenario. So that is why the channel provides certain experiences to customers. In later sessions we will discuss about this in detail, but many cases the channel experience is something that is provided to the customer, and it adds a lot of value to the customer also. Say for example if you go to a store that is selling televisions and air conditioners and such kinds of products which are durables, you might find that some retail stores are available wherein you will have an experienced set of people who are helping you to identify and evaluate products, whereas in some other cases the retailer is not at all interested in giving you anything beyond the product brochure or whatever available information is provided by the manufacturer. In both of these stores you will find that the customer has a greater and better experience when it comes to the store, where a lot of information is provided, a lot of help is provided, a lot of services are provided, thereby the customer has a better experience when it comes to such a scenario as compared to another store which is just fulfilling the customer's requirement without giving any information or any additional services to the customer. So that is where channels are in themselves are able to or capable enough to provide a lot of experiences to customers, which also adds value to the entire marketing channel scenario. And as students of marketing, it is also important for us to understand that there is very low awareness regarding the importance of channels and the problems that might arise in a channel. So that is also a reason why I have included this session in this topic, so that we understand what is happening in the channel mechanism per se before we get into understanding how the retail operations have to be taken care of. And it is also very important to understand that it is very difficult and complex to design and manage channels, as we will see in the later segments of this session, that whenever you have multi channels, there is a chance that there is a lot of conflict between these channels, and to manage and resolve these conflicts is a very difficult activity and a very complex activity. So all of these reasons are important requirements because of which we will be discussing channels. Having introduced marketing channels, we are now going to get into the types of distributions or the types of channel mechanisms that you will generally see in the marketplace. Now again, when I discuss all of these things, these are more of generalized concepts. You will find that there are a lot of retailers and a lot of channels which basically have a combination of more than one of these things that I am talking about. So types of distribution at a very basic level can be classified as direct and indirect distribution. Now what is direct distribution? Direct distribution is when the company to consumers or retailers without any intermediaries. So basically, when the company is interacting with consumers directly without having any middlemen, without having any intermediaries, it is called a direct mode of distribution. It includes reaching out to institutional buyers, selling on the internet, etc., are all elements which are part of the direct mode of distribution. When it comes to indirect distribution, this is where a lot of different intermediaries come into picture. So when I discussed about marketing channels in the previous example or the previous segment, I had mentioned that there are a lot of intermediaries who come into the entire distribution mechanism so that they can effectively take responsibility of some of the activities that are required to be done in the distribution scheme of things, and such kinds of responsibility sharing is what happens in an indirect distribution. So say for example, if I manufacture mobile phones and the mobile phone can be bought directly from me through an online channel or through exclusive distribution mechanisms without having any intermediaries, I effectively am talking about a direct mode of distribution. An indirect mode of distribution, the manufacturer of mobile phones, don't sell it directly to the customer, but I am going to now transport it to the customer through a set of intermediaries which would include somebody who is taking care of warehousing, somebody who is taking care of distribution, somebody who is taking care of retailing, and then it reaches to the end user. In both of these scenarios, you might have already guessed a few advantages and disadvantages. Say for example, when it comes to direct distribution, the company has a lot of control over the entire distribution activities, while when it comes to indirect distribution, there are a lot of intermediaries who also have to work in your behest to make sure that things are done properly. When it comes to direct distribution, the company has to commit a lot of resources, may it be resources for reaching out to a large number of customers, may it be resources with respect to real estate where you have exclusive stores, may it be a number of employees who work for you, etc., But when it comes to indirect distribution, the company does not have to commit all of these resources, but you can engage third party people who to take care of different responsibilities, wherein the company can reduce the amount of capital required and the amount of risk that it has to take. So all of these are different elements. At a very basic level, you can classify distribution into direct distribution and indirect distribution. Now at a much more deeper and much more complex level, distribution can be classified into 4 different categories. These include intensive distribution, selective distribution, exclusive distribution, and personal selling. So these are 4 different mechanisms that I will discuss further. Now if you remember, or if you think generally, you might find that products can be classified into 4 different types. Now products can be classified as convenience products, they can be put into shopping products, they can be put into specialty products, or they can be called unsought products. Now I will quickly discuss each of these types of products for a second before I get into these 4 types of distribution mechanisms. Now convenience products are those products which the customer is trying to buy at his or her convenience. These are products which generally include soaps, shampoos, FMCG, etc., which are considered to be bought at a higher frequency and considered to be bought without spending too much time and effort in deciding which product to buy. It might be highly unlikely to think that the customer will want to travel 10 or 15 kilometers to go and buy a piece of soap, the customer might buy the competitor soap that is available nearby to his house. So hence in such scenarios where you have convenience products, you have to make sure that the product is available in the closest location that the customer is looking for. So that is where we bring in intensive distribution, which basically is the distribution through every reasonable outlet that is available for the customer to have. So that is where FMCG companies, which are convenience products, use an intensive distribution mechanism wherein the product is available in almost all locations where the customer is looking to buy the product, may it be kirana stores, may it be organized retail, may it be any other format that you have. So that is where intensive distribution talks about providing the product distributed through all reasonable outlets that are available for such distribution. Now the second category of products that I discussed was shopping products. Now shopping products are more products which are considered to be bought in lesser frequency. They are products which have higher value and products which are more associated with durables like electronics, washing machines, televisions, etc., etc., etc. Even apparels and fashion products are also part of shopping products. In these products, the customer is willing to spend time, willing to spend effort, and willing to go to the retail location to make the right choice. Say for example, if you have to buy an air conditioner, you are not expecting to have the air conditioner available at the kirana store near your house. You are willing to go maybe 5 kilometers, 7 kilometers, 10 kilometers to go to a store which has a large number of products that are available, wherein you can compare different products and you can buy the right product for you. Similar is the case with fashion products. Say for example, if you want to buy jewelry, if you want to buy apparel, etc., etc., you are interested to go shopping for these products and buy the products which are available so that it can be compared. You are willing to spend time, effort, and travel for all of these things. Now in such situations, you do not need intensive distribution because the customer is not expecting the product to be available in all reasonable outlets, but you need something that is known as selective distribution, where the product is available at multiple locations but not all outlets in the market. So intensive distribution is where the product is available in every reasonable outlet. Selective distribution is when the product is available in multiple but not all outlets in the market. Now the third kind of products that I spoke about was the specialty products. Now specialty products are generally products that have niche applications and which are produced only by one manufacturer in the entire marketplace, and you need to go to this specific manufacturer in order to have this product consumed. So that is where we will talk about exclusive distribution, which means that the product is only available in one specific location in the entire marketplace, and that is where you will find that many of the automotive car manufacturers, etc., will have only one showroom in a location and the customer has to go to that showroom in order to consume that product. So selective, intensive, and exclusive distribution mechanisms are very commonly used terms in the retail sector, wherein intensive distribution basically means that it is available in all reasonable outlets where the customer is looking for. Examples include FMCG products. Selective distribution is where the product is available in many but not all locations in the market or not all outlets in the market. Example are basically pharma and other durables, and then you have exclusive distribution wherein the product is available only in very select and possibly only one location in the entire market. Examples are automotives, etc. Now I also discussed about one category of products which are generally called to be unsought products. Now unsought products are the ones that the customer does not seek out necessarily. So it is not possible for you to have the product in a retail store and the customer coming and buying this product from you. And a very good example of an unsought product is insurance, a life insurance, or charity or blood donation, etc., etc. Now it is highly unlikely that the customer has an inherent need that he or she develops for all of these products. In many cases, such products are to be sold by a set of people on the ground, reaching out to the customer, talking to the customer one to one and selling these products. So that is where personal selling is also a format of distribution that I introduce here, but generally when we talk about distribution mechanisms in the retail space, we will be talking about intensive, selective, and exclusive distribution channels. Now you would have seen all these three types of channels in retail stores that you have visited, and there are other formats also. Say for example, there are other formats or other types of classification that you can do with respect to marketing channels. There is a stores channel, there is an internet channel. The stores channel is the physical traditional retail store that you see. The internet channel is the online retail that you see. There is a catalog channel wherein you will have printed catalogs from where you can identify the products and you can order these products through a call center, etc., etc. There is direct selling wherein you can have people coming to you and talking to you directly one to one. There is tele shopping wherein you have the advertisement that is positioned in a mass media platform, and there is a phone number provided wherein you can call them and talk to them, etc. and there is also automated retail, which basically talks about vending machines and such kinds of automated applications where you can go and procure the product. So, all of these are different distribution mechanisms that are in place, and all of these are important to understand before we get into specific aspects of retailing.